in this county and in this state and in this country, we have a disparity between minority and majority defendants and how they're sentenced. When minority defendants are sentenced, they're sentenced longer and harsher than their majority counterparts. They're at least 2.5 times more likely to receive a longer sentence and a harsher sentence for the same exact type of crime as the majority defendants. And I want to make sure that everybody that comes into my courtroom knows that there is somebody on the bench that understands where they come from and understands that it's not always simply about what you did, but how you got there in the first place. I also want to make sure that when people come to my courtroom, they know they're not entering into a place that's a debtor's prison for bail bonds. Making sure that we understand that bail is supposed to be set simply to ensure your presence in court, not to punish you before you've even been convicted of a crime. And we all know that in the minority communities, that's where it hurts us the most. You can't pay for an attorney because you've got to pay this bond, but you can't pay for the bond because you're sitting in jail and you've lost your job because you weren't able to get out for the last week, for the last month. It's a perpetual cycle. And in my courtroom, that perpetual cycle will stop. I also want to make sure that the women of this county know that they have a judge that's going to protect their rights. Sex assault offenders and domestic abuse offenders won't get slaps on the wrist in my courtroom. There were over 41,000 reports of domestic violence last year in Harris County alone. Of those 41,000, only 9,000 were actually investigated. And only several hundred went in for prosecution because they know the system works against our women. And that won't happen in my courtroom. I also believe in restorative justice, meaning that sometimes in low-level and nonviolent offenses, people mess up. And I want to be able to give them a chance to speak to their victims and give the victims a chance to be a part of the justice process and say, you know what, here's something that you can do to fix what you did wrong. And I know that every person who does something wrong doesn't need that felony label on them because that felony conviction does not go away. And I want to make sure that we have a court system and at least at my bench where we're dealing with equality, where we're dealing with fairness, and we're dealing with efficiency. I hope, ladies and gentlemen, that you can support me. I'll pass out some flyers afterwards if you'd like the information to go to the website. I know y'all are donating to Xavier tonight. Primaries are March 6th. I can't run this campaign all by myself. I do hope, like Pastor said, give a little bit more. When you've given all you can, just give a little bit more. This is the building fund time right now. You're giving your tithes and offering. But we need the building fund and the pastor's gift fund right now. So I want to make sure that you guys are helping me donate. And if you can't donate, at the very least, go to our social media campaign on Facebook, Instagram, and make sure you're sharing this. I need the word to get out to everybody because if we don't have people that look like us on the bench, there's nobody else that's going to fight for us. And I can guarantee you my job, my only job, will be to make sure that people receive justice and to make sure that people that look like me have the best justice available to them. Thank you so much. Brennan Dunn, running for the 185th Criminal District Court. Thank you.